Yo. Excuse me, what? Excuse me, what?
When you welcome a dog into your home.
Yeah.
Excuse me, this guy just decided one day he's just gonna get out there on patrol, pull up some nastiness on his phone and be like, yep, let me drive while watching the nasty on my phone. And what a goober. What an absolute delinquent.
Sucked.
A Florida police officer is off the job after
Oh man, you're dirty.
he crashed his patrol car while watching, let's just say, things he definitely should not have been watching at that time. Newly released body cam
You
footage
couldn't wait. You couldn't wait. You couldn't have done it before your shift. You couldn't have done it on break. You couldn't have done it after work. You had to do it while driving in your patrol car.
shows the deputy's
What? Gross.
reaction to the
Imagine if you were like speeding and this guy just gets out full hard on, just ready to bust at any moment, and you're just like, he's like, you know why I pulled you over? Ew.
accident, and an internal investigation report shows he came clean before resigning. Welcome to
He might have came.
Sidebar.
He might have came.
Presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. 28-year-old Tristan McComber was a deputy with the Lake County, Florida Sheriff's Office, and he apparently crashed his patrol vehicle into the back of another car that was stopped for a school bus.
Oh,
And after
it just keeps getting worse and worse for him. So not only were you watching the type of content you were watching while driving in a cop car on duty, but you also crashed into a parked car behind a school bus. Oh God. This is diabolical, man. I don't know if you can ever recover from this.
that,
You have completely lost your aura more than I have ever seen anybody lose anything.
what did he do? He subsequently decided to quit instead of being fired. Now you might be saying, wait a second.
That totally makes sense. That would make sense. He quit like right after. He probably quit as soon as the investigation started.
Jesse, well, why would he quit? It's probably an accident, right? Why would he quit over this?
An accident. There is no accident.
See, the fact that he crashed isn't the reason he was the subject of an internal investigation. No, it's because of what he was doing just before the accident. And to talk more about that, I'm going to bring in Alexis Rosenberg, trial attorney, federal litigator, to talk more about this. Thanks so much for coming here on Sidebar. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before I get your reaction to all of this, I want to play a little bit of the body cam video. So the audio
please
doesn't
do.
come in until just after McComber rear ends the car, but you can tell he has something in his right hand, and that looks like a phone.
This man, what is going on this computer screen? Oh, it just gets so bad. There wasn't even like any trying to stop there.
Attention, 911 assist is turned off. Therefore, 911 assist call will not be made by phone.
Oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. You're never gonna get a job anywhere ever.
Attention, 911 assist.
Once they found out, hey, why'd you quit your last job? Oh, I'd rather not say. Do you want to put down a reference? No, I don't have any references. I've never worked a day in my life.
Turned off. Therefore, 911
And then they turn on the news and this comes on. Cop crashes car while watching explicit content on his phone, and it's him. It's him. He crashes into a car that's stopped for a school bus.
call will not be made by phone.
2980 County 65 Signal 4. You can use Creston and County Road 435. I'm going to be involved. There's going to be Signal 16.
You're gonna be involved, but it was your fault.
10-4.
So this accident happened back in November in Sorrento, Florida, around 1:30
This would
in the
happen in
afternoon.
Florida. This seems like the most Florida thing that would happen.
Deputy McComber hit the other car.
How would you feel if you were his girlfriend or wife? How would you feel? Your husband lost his job because he couldn't resist watching explicit content for more than an entire work shift and then crashed into a car behind a school bus. He was so desperate that he needed to get that adrenaline pumping, you know? He had to get that heart racing. And that is crazy.
Hard enough to deploy his airbag, which of course would leave anybody disoriented, but he gets out of the patrol car and eventually reaches down to pick up again his phone from the floorboard.
Gosh darn it.
Does it show what's on his phone? Gosh darn it, he says, as if he just didn't do the most diabolical thing ever. He knows he's caught too. I hate that this dude hasn't checked on the other people involved in the crash either.
Yeah, that sucked.
It was your fault, bud.
Yeah, I'm good.
At least it doesn't look like he hit him very hard, but still, I'd be... This person is suing. Imagine you find out that the cop that hit you was too busy watching explicit content on his phone to be paying attention to the road, and he rear-ended you while you were sitting there waiting for children to get off the school bus. That is a $1 billion lawsuit.
Hello, ma'am. Are you okay? I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
My brakes locked up.
Your brakes locked up. No way you're just straight up lying. Oh,
Okay.
you
I was like,
devious
oh my goodness,
little
wait.
dirty dog.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. Do you just want to pull
Yeah,
up right
should I
here?
pull for more? Okay.
Just to make sure you're out of the turn lane.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're out of the turn lane.
You could hear McComber say that his brakes locked up, seemingly blaming that for why he couldn't stop in time. And we don't know if the driver of that car was injured in any way, but she appeared to be conscious, alert when McComber was talking with her. So Alexis, let me bring you in here. You know, what's your reaction to that video? First thoughts.
When you
My reaction to that first thoughts is it's crazy. There's no way that happened in real life. That has to be AI. There's actually no chance that happened in real life, right? There's that's crazy. My reaction is that dude should never work a job where he has a phone again. Can I not ban this person? What is happening? Whatever. I think they already got banned. For some reason, yeah, message deleted by moderator W.
first look at the video, you're not really sure what he's grabbing for, the movement. You really have to focus in on the video to see, as you mentioned, that there's a phone that he...
It's very easy from the video to tell that he was distracted. It doesn't matter what he was grabbing for. It's the fact that in the video, you can easily tell that he was distracted. It sucks to find out what he was distracted by, but it's pretty evident that he was distracted.
is grabbing for.
It's not very hard to see that he's distracted.
That he necessarily was doing anything inappropriate.
It's your new nanny, Polly. Hi. How are you holding up?
And we will get into what seemingly really did cause this crash, and oh boy, is it something. But before we get into that, you know, his reaction, disoriented, he's relatively calm considering he knows he's at fault for what just happened though, right?
He's too
He
calm.
knew what he was doing, even though
Yeah.
it wasn't at first glance so evident in the video. But he definitely knew which.
Why are you shouting at me?
To find out that he was doing something inappropriate. He shouldn't have been doing that. As well as in the video, we can see that he jumped out of the car, and it doesn't appear he had his seatbelt even on.
Ah, and yes, we will talk about that a little bit more. So
The
McComber
seatbelt doesn't bother me that much.
had
I mean, there's millions of people that don't drive with the seatbelt on. You see a lot of cop videos where they don't have their seatbelt on. I mean, yeah, they should have their seatbelt on, but it just happens.
radioed into dispatch, and investigators came out to document the scene. According to an internal report, McComber told officials that he had just finished up a phone call with another deputy when he'd seen the sedan stopped in the road for a school bus on the other side of the street with its lights flashing. He claims the brakes on his patrol car locked up, And McComber also told officials that the ABS light on his dashboard had been lit up since he had some calibrations done on the speedometer. Here is the problem with that. An investigator looked back at that body cam video that we were just playing you and saw that McComber was looking at something on his phone when he crashed. So what was he looking at? Well, let's start with this. So we got our hands on the internal report, which details how an investigator followed up.
Imagine you're the investigator and you have to waste your time trying to figure out how this crash happened, and the second you pull up the dash cam video, he tells you, I just got off the phone with another detective. And then you're like, okay, yeah, no problem, simple, done, deal, brakes locked up, I'll just check the body cam footage and we'll go from there. And you're like, oh, check the body cam footage? No, we don't need to do that. No. And he's like, no, it's simple, your brakes locked up, you just got off the phone with the detective, whatever, it's cool, it's simple. And then he pulls up the body cam footage, and then it's you watching what you're watching. What do you think went through that detective's mind?
Up with McComber.
He had to have been like disgusted and in disbelief of what he just saw.
The day after the crash to ask him about the fact that you could see he was looking at something on his phone. It reads, quote, DS McComber advised me that he was traveling behind the vehicle and had just finished a phone call with DS Hoffman. He went on to say that he was scrolling through text messages on his phone from a group text with his Sector 3 colleagues just prior to the crash. He stated he was not sending text messages when the crash occurred. After speaking with DS McComber, I reviewed the videos again. DS McComber's right hand comes down into view of the body-worn camera, and you can see the screen of the cell phone. On the screen of the phone, you can see that DS McComber is viewing a picture or a video at the time of the crash, and he was not scrolling through text messages. Upon further review, you can see DS McComber exit the patrol vehicle at approximately, and it gives the timestamp there, and there is no evidence of him removing his seatbelt. He looks back into his patrol vehicle, and you can see the driver's seatbelt is latched and tied against the seat. It appears that the seatbelt was latched behind his back and not being utilized at the time of the crash. So
you had 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike. Yeah, you're over.
The investigator follows up with McComber's usual supervisor, who told him there were no videos or photographs in the group chat between him and the other Sector 3 members, like McComber had said.
Oh God! So you can't even say, "Oh no, it was a video. It was a photo that I clicked on from my colleagues, or a video I clicked on from my colleagues." Nope, you're just cut, clean, and dried out. You diabolical person.
At this point, McComber is
dirty dog.
Written up for 3 violations of department policy. One is departure from the truth. Another is certain use of electronic handheld devices prohibited, and another is use of safety belt. So the first, departure from the truth, is because he said he was viewing text from the group chat when it was clear he was looking at some sort of image. It wasn't the group chat. And they don't even know what exactly those images or image is as of yet. Now, as we wonder whether or not Mr. McComber may need
How do you not know what the image is?
a great lawyer, let me
What?
tell you about Law and Crime's exclusive personal injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan, our great
Not her again. She's just gonna scream at me more. She's just gonna keep screaming at me.
So let's just say liar, liar, pants on fire. You would think he would do better. Also, he knows the policies and procedures, and he knows that if there's an accident in a police car, that so many, that is.
Talk to me about the violations, because my understanding is...
We don't care about the violations. Does this go into any other detail about what the photo was?
20 Officers' Bill of Rights.
Wait, what is this?
Investigative report, okay? And it states, on November 12th, 2024, DS McComber was served with his subject officer notification and given a copy of the Officers' Bill of Rights. On November 19th, this detective received a copy of the Sector 3 text group messages for the date of the crash.
Okay,
the
bet.
group's text messages contain no memes or videos.
Yep. We've said that already. Yep. Got
November
it.
20th, 2024, this detective met with DS McComber at the Office of Professional Standards to complete an interview. DS McComber was given time to review the case file prior to any questioning. DS McComber was read his administrative notification, and he agreed to tell the truth. Real quick, Alexis, this is all to show that he has his due process rights that are being adhered to, right? You know, he's giving
Awesome. Yep.
phone after that phone call. Look at Hoffman prior to the vehicle crash, but he was on his personal phone after that phone call looking at inappropriate pictures.
God.
D.S. McComber was asked to clarify what he meant by inappropriate pictures, and he stated,
like boobs and whatnot. What are we, 12? Oh my God.
pornographic material like boobs or whatnot. It actually says that, like boobs or whatnot. D.S. McComber stated he was looking at images that contained nudity.
You dirty dog. You absolute goober. You actually couldn't wait until you finished your shift. You little horn dog. I don't even want to know what else is on your body cam footage.
Alexis,
I don't know what you want. I don't even want to know what you do in your free time.
the cat's out of the bag. This member of law enforcement was allegedly looking at porn when he crashed the car. Does it get worse than that?
No, it actually doesn't. It actually does. It gets worse than that because he crashed into a car. Stopped for a school bus. Oh God.
Well, he was specifically looking at boobs.
She shouts at me and I can't handle it.
Theoretically, have a lawsuit against.
Oh, it's an absolute huge lawsuit against the police department. I'd be like, my tailbone, my back, my feet, my legs, my head, my ass, and my crack.
Right?
Well, she most likely is going to. Hopefully she wasn't hurt, but I'm assuming because the airbags deployed that there was a decent amount of damage that was done to both of the cars because the deployment of the airbag does.
Her car actually didn't look too bad. Her car actually didn't look too bad from the body cam footage.
Require a certain amount of
Obviously, I wasn't there in person, but her car did not look that bad from body cam footage.
force. So at a minimum, the repair of the car, more, injuries that she possibly sustained or anybody else that may have been in that car could have sustained. There would be
There was no one else in the car. Did you see the body cam footage? It was just her.
a lawsuit against the police department.
Now, in his interview, McComber continued to talk about the ABS and the traction control in the patrol car, reiterating that the lights came on after the speedometer calibrations he had just done. But D.S. McComber, quote, stated the information in his report concerning the ABS and traction control lights being on was more of a deflection than a genuine reason for the vehicle crash. D.S. McComber stated that he had those lights come on before in his other department-issued vehicles, and there had never been a problem with the brakes before this incident. D.S. McComber advised he never tested his brakes prior to the vehicle crash that day, even though he had plenty of time and distance to do so before the vehicle crash. Lexus, what do you make of that?
I think that he's an absolute idiot. I also think it's weird for anybody to get in the patrol car for their day and test out the brakes. Like what do you mean test out the brakes? You're gonna have to stop. Did he just get on shift and was driving on a road that doesn't have any stop signs or traffic lights? What do you mean tested his brakes? Anytime you come to a stop, you're gonna test your brakes.
Well, I think it's interesting that he decided at this point that he was going to be truthful when he was going down that road of lies. I think that it's possible that there was some sort of talk or agreement that he would.
Your life is over.
Resign and admit to his wrongdoings. I just think for him to come clean at this point, there may have been something else going on there.
And McComber, of course, knew he was being dishonest in his report because he told the investigator, D.S. McComber stated that he knew he was looking at inappropriate pictures, which was the leading cause of the crash. And he deliberately left that information out of his report. He stated that it's called lying by omission. And he further said he knows that one all too well. I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but my gosh, what are we talking?
He knows that one all too well. So he literally just knew he was lying in the first place and then just a full out admits it and was like, yeah, I knew what I was doing. Yeah, I knew how to lie. Yeah, I know it all too well. I'm pretty good at it. I would love this. I think this should be a huge investigation to dive further into all of his criminal arrests or traffic citations. How do I know that this man wasn't lying when he arrested so and so now, right? This is a huge lawsuit against the department. This could open up a bunch of cases for the department. If he's lying about this, who knows what else he's lying about? And he did it so effortlessly. He got out of the car within 2 minutes and lied to the lady. And then lied to the investigators the same day.
Out here. And it says DS McComber was asked about a meeting with Sergeant Walls and what they discussed. He was explicitly asked if he lied to Sergeant Walls when he said he was looking at text messages in the Sector 3 group chat, and he said, yes, sir. DS McComber further stated that he knew he was lying to Sergeant Walls during...
So you're lying to multiple people because you don't want to be caught, even though you know... Like, it doesn't make sense to me. You know you're going to be caught. You know they're going to do an investigation, and you know that you're going to be caught looking at boobs and whatnot on your phone as you crash into a car, waiting for a bus, a school bus of all things. You absolute imbecile.
Yes, McComber was asked about wearing his seatbelt during the vehicle crash, and he stated he did not. He stated he believes it more tactically sound not to be seatbelted.
Tactically sound to not wear a seatbelt to
While on
wild.
patrol, he stated that it has been his standard practice to not wear a seatbelt, but he knows he should do so according to policy and state statute. Alexis, by the way, talking about potential charges.
Takes 2 seconds to take off your seatbelt.
Under Florida law.
Every second counts, brother. Chill.
For not wearing a seatbelt?
He could be fined for not wearing a seatbelt. Also, he could be...
Okay, we don't care about the whole seatbelt thing though. Like here's the seatbelt thing. The seatbelt thing is here, okay? It's even lower. It's like you don't even care about it. And then there's looking at boobs and whatnot on your phone while driving a police car on duty. And then there's crashing into somebody. Then there's crashing into somebody. Then there's crashing into somebody because they're waiting on a school bus. And then there's lying to every single person you know that day, even though you know you're going to get caught, and then coming out and describing the truth. All right, seatbelt thing is way down here. We don't care about it.
Previous to this incident, because he seems to have a complete disregard. He knows he's been...
Let's talk about that for a second. Are you saying that in cases of police misconduct, that they're old cases that might not even be related to this, where he testified, where he investigated something, they could be reopened by...
I told you, I called it, I knew it. They easily could be.
By defense attorneys and say, we can't trust this guy anymore.
Exactly.
Is that something that defense attorneys could be looking at?
Yes,
right now?
100%.
I think that going backwards is probably won't go that open. I don't think it's going to be a basis necessarily to reopen, because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt and he's living.
Okay, but it's everything else. This guy can't be trusted. He lied so effortlessly to everybody he fucking came in contact with that day. Within 2 minutes of getting out of the car, he lied to the lady he crashed into.
At porn while driving, reopening past cases. But I do think that the credibility issue on cases going forward, which he would have to testify on, the court could possibly let it in, because it does go towards honesty and his credibility, and letting that in and saying that what he says and what
this lady needs a better freaking microphone
is contained in previous reports may lack credibility.
Well, in conclusion, the report states DS McComber admitted to knowingly lying in his original report. He also admitted to lying to Sergeant Walls about the incident,
which was covered.
DS McComber stated he was looking at pornographic material on his personal phone,
which was covered for the 400th time.
That he was not wearing his seatbelt,
which was also covered, which for some reason was a huge point of discussion.
McComber was facing termination, instead decided to resign, and he had been on the force since 2021 when the sheriff had welcomed him with a photo on the department's Facebook page. Alexis, thanks so much for coming on. Really.
That's actually a crazy story right there. That is actually diabolical. That man will never get anything.